the forge where the embers glow. Emphr searches high and low for the steel that sings like a blade of fire. He'll face the dark and never tire. The cost, the weight he bears through endless nights and battle stares. Each strike of the hammer, each swing of the blade. The journey is long, but he's unafraid. Through the ash and smoke, the flames grow higher. He won't back down and forge his desire. Steel in his heart and fire in his eyes. He'll rise above, he'll touch the sky. Steel in the fire, forged in the night. A hero's path, a warrior's fight. He'll seek the power in the iron's call. Through the flames he'll conquer all. For every battle, for every test, he'll find the strength, he'll give his best. With the heat of the forge and the clash of steel, he'll shape his fate, he'll make it real. Echoes of war, the cries in the air. He's forged in the struggle, he's learned to dare. In the shadows of mountains, the caverns deep, he hunts for the ore that never sleeps. The stars above and the earth below guide him onward as the embers glow. With every blow, with every flame, he carves his legend and earns his name. Through the ash and smoke, the flames grow higher. He won't back down and forge his desire. Steel in his heart and fire in his eyes. He'll rise above, he'll touch the sky. Steel in the fire.
Hello, welcome to another podcast. I think we're up to 53. Emphr, the search for steel. Of course, we will start out testing our audio, and yes, it sounds like we are fine. Okay. Well, welcome back. I guess I have to do the traditional hello world. If anybody's going to attend, go ahead and remark in the chat. We are looking at episode 53. Little housekeeping. I am moving forward on that music video and the music from Suno AI and myself as a collaboration. I don't think we should get hit by any copyright. It's kind of weird that it would in general. We can talk about, we have a whole show to talk about AI after I put out that article, probably this week on LinkedIn. So if you are on LinkedIn, you want to learn about leadership philosophy and philosophy in leadership. I write articles about AI, philosophy, leadership, agent philosophy, and how really nothing new has really been discovered. And I will quantify that, of course, or qualify that, I should say. Meaning, the philosophies of leadership are pretty much the same. How we apply those philosophies and how we apply to today's world. That's what I write about. Take the good, leave the bad. Build on the avoid the bad. I think that's good philosophy for everybody, right? I've been writing a couple songs today on Suno AI too. One came out just awesome. It's about fighting your demons, and I placed it in the heavy metal genre. So once I get I'm still shopping for the right AI where I can create pictures and video. The picture for this thumbnail came from Flux AI. Yeah, Flux, Korea. So it was a really tough decision. It was between this and actually Grok 2. Grok 2 is an AI built by X, and it's really, really good. It's fantastic. I use a couple different AIs in my daily life, and I try to compare and contrast the AIs. I just don't go with one AI. But for fun, I went with ChatGPT for our conversations tonight. Maybe I'll play a snippet of that song later in the podcast. It's pretty cool. I really enjoy the intro and the outro to this podcast as well. Let me know in the comments if you like the songs on the intro and the outro. They were my first attempts in Suno, but they turned out well, so I kept them. Where are my stream topics? Oh, I was thinking, as I do on a Sunday where my mind wanders, and I figure, what's the meaning of life? That's all. It's like everything everybody does right on Sunday. We just think about life and everything. So I thought I'd bring back up a topic on the science as we will be going tonight with Emphr. Oh, before I do that, I did add some stuff to my house, and I thought the bottom's going to be storage, by the way, if anybody was wondering. This is going to be lined with storage and lighting. It's not really a good place to do anything because all my cooking is up front. I got my Founders stuff over here, which is a special table if you get the Founders edition. And I got my jewelry here. And then I got my outside. So as I was doing this, I love my stairs. I still need a little bit more lighting. My fermentation's out here along with my milling. I got some water. And as we go downstairs, I created a deck, for lack of a better word, or my furnace. So it looks kind of cool. I felt it looked cool. Let me know your comments. And then as we go into the actual structure, we are looking at different areas. Alchemy to the right, leatherworking to the left, tailoring in that area. I'm going to have to get another light there. And then as we go upstairs, we needed a bedroom. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put the bedroom. I might put it in this area. It's a nice blank slate. And I also created a really cool staircase over here where, as you can see, it kind of winds all the way into this second area. I think I'm going to try to close this off. I haven't decided yet. That's one of those interesting things. And then as you go up here, I couldn't get rid of the tree, so I built around it. We go up into a deck so we can overlook this nice vista. And then over here, we have, I think I'm going to put my bedroom, or my alchemy's already here. So maybe in my bedroom, my bed right here. And as you can see, I'm a little bit higher than my neighbors, which is unusual, to be honest. It takes a lot to build up this high, but I'm doing a decent job. So as you can see, these pillars here are part of the reason why I can. And of course, the bane of my existence is that the houses, the plots don't exactly meet with each other, which I think they should fix before they release, because that's kind of weird. Plots should morph into a good connecting, so you have an overall coverage of the plots, right? Oh, I even got stairs coming this way, so there we go. Little tour of the house. Like I said, this is all going to be storage. I'm going to get rid of most of, well, these storages are area storages. And I want to make sure I should go get some more. Not that I'm going to do a lot of fighting, but I will do some fighting. So I figure I will go ahead and gather some food. There we go. As a matter of fact, I can eat it. There we go. And then there we are. And I will go to the weapons table real quick and do some repairs on my weapons and my shield. Just real quick. Top it off. Not that it'll do anything. There we go. And I got a hand axe and a pickaxe. Perfect. Because we are looking for... I said it earlier. What are we going for? Inkard. Let's go for stone for now. We'll pick and choose. And over near this stone, they didn't move too far. I think because if you were trying to get to this point in the inland, it took a lot of hit points, honestly. I'll take care of this guy real quick. Still trying to get the spear up, honestly. I don't really need the spear. There we go. This is the only way to get sand, so I'm going to get more sand, because more sand equals potion bottles. So I was thinking today, a lot of people talking, especially on YouTube, you see a lot of channels that are dedicated to frequencies. Like, do these binaural beats at this frequency and live a long, prosperous, lucky life. Not sure I'd go that far and believe that that music and binaural beats and frequencies can do that. Like to, though. However, I think the frequency sensitivity of headsets are the limiting factor of that. And if you have a really expensive headset with a frequency response that's really, really good, maybe, right? But if you think about it, we live in a universe of frequencies. Let me say that again, because it's really interesting, because I don't believe anybody thinks in those terms. Everything around us, he moved. Yeah, I didn't miss him. He moved. Everything is frequency. So everything, and here's proof, right? Everything has a resonance frequency. If you ever looked at different scientific studies, or even studies that your voice can shatter glass, well, the basic idea of that is that you're doing that because you're meeting the resonance frequency of the glass, vibrating the glass enough, and then it shatters. I believe Mythbusters actually did it a while ago, and I think they could actually do it with a professional vocalist without an amplifier. But very interesting stuff, right? So when you think about everything being a frequency, then we look at we have to ask the question, what frequencies are actually going to affect different objects and matter. It's very telling. Like, for example, we see this in nature. One place we saw it in nature is in 1940. There was a bridge, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. It collapsed. Why? Because the wind created vibrations in the bridge itself, which matched the resonant frequency of the materials in the bridge. So what did that do? it led to a catastrophic failure because if you see these videos, the bridge is actually waving back and forth. It's becomes where it looks like it's in a wave form, meaning you'll see the bridge peak and trough at certain times within the frequency that was affecting it. I don't think I'll get this. I didn't think so. I made a lot of errors this afternoon, so I'm okay with that. So, but very interesting stuff, right? Oh, really? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. There we go. Oh shit. I didn't want to do that. That's all right. I wanted to get my spear out again because let's see. No, not that. Here's my journal. Combat skills. Pole arms level 16. I should be 17. Here's my axes, great malls, pole arms, swords, hand spears. I think that's where they are. Yeah, yeah. So I'm at level 25. Swords, I'm at level 31. So I really need to level up that spear to 31 at least. That's the only reason I'm killing these things. All right, but back to frequencies. So yeah, so that bridge in 1940, it just met the resonant frequency, which was wicked. Like I said, if you do a YouTube search or a search on the internet for Tacoma 1940, you will be, I think it would be really impressive for your eyes to see. And the reason I bring up the bridge is because that was a natural frequency from wind that affected a bridge. So bridge made of concrete, steel, whatever other materials that bridge was made of. But the wind actually created a frequency that destroyed the bridge. Now we think about destruction. I'm talking about destruction, but it would stand to reason that any frequency that we look at for destruction, we should also look at the opposite, the frequency to build creation or create, right? My theory is that once we are able to understand the electromagnetic spectrum or the EMF field, we talked about this, the colors, right? The colors have different frequency. There's no reason why we couldn't master the art of actually creating different molecules and atoms, right? From frequency. Now, of course, when you're looking at this, you will be definitely having to. I just took 3 doors. I didn't expect to take all 3. Okay. But you would look at the building of these frequencies as creation, whereas the destroy, and you can destroy for sure. We already discussed that. So the seismic resonance in earthquakes generates seismic waves that resonate within structures. If you think about the destructive nature of a hurricane, or an earthquake, you can understand that when an earthquake shakes a building, some buildings don't go down, but when they do, it's because they go down from the resonance that is created by the shaking underneath. Now, could they shake to destroy? Yeah, yeah. But if you ever look at an earthquake, a building, it starts to wave, right? It's actually a swaying, and it'll get into a, I don't know how, it'll get into like a motion, like it'll look like it's waving, right? In a wave pattern. Very interesting stuff when we come the electric or resonance in earthquakes or resonance in air and destruction because of that. Of course, again, we want to look at it from a point of view of the. I totally messed that up. We want to look at it totally to the effect of creation, right? Because as if we're scientists or want to be scientists, we want to ensure creation, not destruction. I'm like dropping everything in. I want sand. That's all I want. So, frequencies in human health, right? We were talking about it a little bit at the beginning of the conversation. Binaural beats, things on YouTube, right? Frequencies between 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz are available to humans hearing, right? That's what we can perceive. Doesn't mean we can't. Well, no, it literally means what I'm saying. We are saying that you, as a human, cannot perceive or recognize anything above 20K. Now, some of us can probably, get 21K or something like that. Every human's different for sure. But ultimately, the range is 20 to 20K. So if you look at sound waves, they're saying, but low frequency infrasound, or less than 20 hertz, can influence health, potentially causing discomfort, nausea, or even anxiety. Well, why does that occur? You don't hear it, but you're feeling it. Has anybody ever felt bass or felt sound? That's what we're talking about here. That is exactly what we're talking about here. You can not necessarily, well, in that case, let me restate my previous assumption is that we can't perceive them. I guess we can perceive them, we just can't hear them, right? That might be a better way to say it. That might be a bit better way of saying it. Not as definitive, right? But ultimately, and they have weapons that, or theoretical weapons, they're not real. They're probably real. Where they're huge. They're huge sonic weapons that point and aim toward people, and they are supposedly creating either really, really high frequency waveforms or low frequency waveforms. If low frequency causes discomfort, nausea, or anxiety, it makes sense, right? That they would make a weapon out of it. And since you don't have to technically perceive it, right? You just have to, well, I'm sorry, you don't have to hear it, you just have to perceive it. I think at that point, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that one. You wondered on stream, I get a boar. Oh my god. And there's no way. There we go. Let's make sure I can get more sand. I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. Sand is potion bottles. Need sand. Yeah, this iteration of the world that they created, I would have never went after these deposits this much before, like ever. I need a lot of rock for my house, but it was not near as much as I do today playing the game. All right, back to the frequencies. All right. Electromagnetic waves. Radio, microwave, and infrared frequencies form the backbone of communication, healthcare, and daily technologies. Through prolonged exposure to high-intensity electromagnetic fields, or EMF, has raised concerns about health risks like fatigue or insomnia. Now, this has been some debate recently, especially with the Wi-Fi signals, right, that are occurring in your home or just in general in public, right? 5G, 6G. Some are theorizing that it's affecting the migratory or the direction sense of bees, or creating the environment where bees are confused and don't make it back to the hive, and bad things happen when that occurs because bees pollinate pretty much everything in our food supply. If we can come down with some good evidence that that occurs, we are part of nature. So I would argue that we are probably affected as well. I'm not sure. And to what degree we're affected, not sure as well. But would it hurt us to investigate? Right? I hit it right in the head. Right? Yeah, also, let's get into some freaking conspiracy theories. Oh, before I do that, I was wandering around here and I actually came across the cliff and I saw somebody's death marker. Like, here lies so and so. I was like, oh, you didn't see the cliff, did you? I've done that. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah, totally have done that. All right, so back to the electromagnetic waves and fields and magnetic fields. Magnetic fields, if you didn't know, the Earth has a magnetic field and it vibrates at a certain frequency. I want to say it's like 7 hertz. And that is known as the Schumann resonance. It was 7.83 hertz is what it says, fundamental frequency, with additional harmonics. Now, if you don't know much about frequencies, let me tell you that there's the fundamental frequency or the peak frequency. I'm going to call it the peak frequency. It's been a while since I've tried to explain this. But ultimately the way we look at frequencies is the primary or fundamental frequency is the highest peak, and then you have lower and higher frequencies known as harmonics. And those harmonics are a part of the frequency. So never think that just because the frequency is changing that you don't, it's just one frequency, right? And that's one thing that people that are laymen don't understand when talking about different frequencies in like the 5 gig or I can't believe I got him. But the 5G and stuff like that. I actually looked like I knew what I was doing. What's that? Oh, actually, I'm going to use this. Okay. Go look for rocks. That's all I'm looking for. Sand. That's it. Sand, not rocks. Anyway, so fundamental frequencies. So this is all giving you a basic knowledge of more advanced conversation that we can bring into the fold. That's why I'm bringing it to you like the way I am. If you didn't know, or I should say, the some of the theories speculate that the frequencies for humans, or the fundamental frequency, or the alpha waves for our brain, are between 8 and 12 hertz. And we think that the Schumann frequency will actually be a positive benefit to those frequencies in our head, right? So if Schumann resonates at 7.8 and we resonate at 8 to 12 on our alpha waveforms, right? Our brain waves are alpha, which is cognitive function and relaxation. Did you ever hear a lot of people say, "Hey, if you're having high anxiety, just unplug, go out into the wilderness somewhere. Just go out as far as you can and just hang out, right? Unplug." Well, what is that for? Well, ultimately, that is for the reason that you don't want to create or have any influence around around yourself, right? You want to when you say unplug, you want to actually create a distance from those electronics that are around you, so you can actually. It's hard. This one's going to be hard to say. I'm going to say feel more relaxed, and it'll help with your cognitive functions, right? Because you are now resonating with the planet, or it's a closer relationship. You're feeling calm. You're not feeling as overwhelmed, right? Where the heck is he? At your house, I think it would be impossible unless you have a clean room. And the clean room I'm talking about is where you can seal a room from all frequencies, and just even it would be taking yourself from away from the Earth's frequency as well. Basically, it's a deadening area where nothing can get in, no frequencies can get in. That is impressive. Oh, is a fox coming at me? Wait. I'm just looking for stones here, guys. It's an impressive house. Gotta give it that. So yeah, um, the Schumann resonance studies suggest that natural electromagnetic fields, including the Schumann resonance, may subtly regulate sleep and wake cycles and mood. About, and I want to make sure everybody is in within the understanding that headsets don't get down to 8 hertz. So if somebody's selling you a headset and saying it'll do, all this stuff, and then you see the specification sheet, more than likely it's going to say 20 hertz as the bottom. You might see 18, but you're not going to see 8 unless it's a special headset. And no, gamer headsets are not special in that factor. So saw my enemy. Ooh, I am right next to them. I could probably fight them, but I don't really want to. Just out here for stone. Wow, he's really close to him. There we go. Drop something. What are we dropping? I can drop the air and the board, actually. All right. So I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. So headsets do not go down to 8. I'm telling you, they do not go down to 8 unless it's unless it's been specified for 8. But if it's something off the shelf, it's definitely not going to go down to 8. I hate when companies try to, or well, companies in general, right? Meaning, if a company is trying to sell you a frequency and they're like, yeah, do this, the headset's not going to vibrate at that frequency, so you're not going to, it's not going to have any benefit. None. Zero. Even when technical companies try to sell something to somebody and they're like, and they're very dishonest. You know, like if you go onto YouTube and they're like, yeah, do this, it's like an 8 hertz signal. Well, your speakers can't figure it out, so you're not going to get any of the benefits. Stop. Please stop. Let's see what else is going on. Maybe that's a business idea. I don't know if you can actually make the speakers that resonate at 8, because basically speakers vibrate at a certain frequency, right? So they would have to resonate at 8 hertz. That would be difficult, knowing the physics behind that. I'm not saying it would be impossible. You'd have to come up with your own business plan. Let's see. So circadian rhythms, that's the ones that you're sleeping, right? That's your sleep. So yeah, if you could, you definitely want to do it. But understand that you definitely need a, here, let me do this. Let me do this because this is important. What headsets on the market go are have a frequency range of 2 hertz to 1 terahertz, or anything in between, but inside the human range of 20 HZ and 20 HZ. HZ is hertz, if you're wondering, I'm using abbreviations. And I'm asking ChatGPT. I bet you none of them. That's what I thought. I'll read off what it's saying, but I'm trying to do a quick cursory read before I give you a synopsis. Like I said, most headsets are between 20 and 20,000. They vary, plus or minus a little bit, but they're not really. Ah, crap. I thought I got the other one. I'm doing this because I want the experience for skinning. Skinning is good. Skinning is good. People are like, why are you doing that? Because we have this new scanning thing, this new scanning skill, and I have to really level it up. All right, once I get into a good position here without fighting, I'll give you what it says. That's pretty cool. That's got to be a clan for sure. Okay, so subsonic or low frequency headsets. These headsets extend below the human hearing range, less than 20, and are designed for haptic feedback, creating vibrations or physical sensations. Gaming and VR simulation. So these are haptic feedback things, but it's not really audio, right? It's just transmitting the audio into the physical. Audiophile grade gaming headset with robust low frequency response is Aldi's Mobius. I wouldn't suggest going low. Well, actually, low. See, we've already gotten two pieces of information that contradict each other. Low frequency will create anxiety, a feeling nausea and stuff like that. But the Earth is 7.8 hertz, which is low frequency, and it's supposed to make you feel calm. This is what I mean by critical thinking. This is what I mean by look at the sources, because they directly are contradicting each other. We're going to have to do some more research if we want to find out and get to the bottom of this. Absolutely. Whereas the ultrasonic or high frequency headsets operate above 20K, ultrasound applications, medical imaging, animal communications, some headsets cater to frequencies detectable by animals. Ultrasound bone conduction headsets used to convert communication or underwater transmission, such as those developed for the military or specialized industries. The Sennheiser HE1 high-end audiophile headphone system with an external frequency response up to 100K. That's pretty good. And then you have a couple different ones. You have Sony MDR Z1R frequency response is up to 120K. Focal Utopia wide frequency range for audiophiles up to 50K. And Dynamic DT 1990 Pro Series studio headphones with extended range for critical listening. Interesting. So there are a few out in the market. For a typical consumer and professional use, no headsets cover the entire range from I put it link insert now. This range spans multiple scientific fields beyond audio. Let's say place the products in a chart with low freak range, high or low freak, high freak, what else? Cost and product name. Just for those of you who are interested, I'll give you a couple different options on the low, especially the low frequency. I have no idea where. That's right. These look like 10, maybe. Yeah. I think I'd be able to go down this hill fairly easily. This deer. Actually, it's just deer, but it's skinning. That would be funny if I actually get more. All right. I know that Jordan did the you're like really wanting to know what is going on with these headsets, right? And the reason I'm bringing these headsets up is because maybe you do want to see if the YouTube videos actually go down that far. because I don't think they do. I don't think I don't think the computer can actually go to that low of a frequency. They might be able to. I think some people might be able to do it, but for the most part, I don't. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's not the case. Getting some lag here, and I just realized the YouTube videos still good, but it's fluctuating. Let's see. So I gave you some of the products. All these Mobius is 10 hertz to 50k hertz, about $400, and these are just estimates. So it's a high fidelity gaming headset with low frequency emphasis. Sony MDR Z1R, which is 4 hertz to 120k hertz. It's let's say $1,800. That's nothing. Focal Utopia is 5 hertz to 50k hertz. Oh, that's premium audiophile headphones for ultra detailed sound, $4,400. The Bear Dynamic DTs 1990 Pros of 5 hertz to 40k, $600. They're actually studio grade headphones for critical listening. Sennheiser HE1 from 8 hertz to 100k hertz, $59,000. It's a luxury audiophile headphone system with a vacuum tube amplifier. I do like the vacuum tubes. They create really high fidelity. But for 60 grand, I guess I'm going to have to be a millionaire before we do that, huh? B Haptics Tax Suit plus audio is less than 10 hertz in vibration, 20k hertz, and the bundle is $1,500. It's a haptic feedback suit with integrated low frequency audio. So I wouldn't even include that because you can't really listen to it. Ultrasound bone conduction, 0 hertz to ultrasonic, which is greater than 20k. Specialized pricing, 5k plus for medical, military, or underwater communication applications. So essentially what we're saying is anything over, I'm going to say it again, guys, anything up from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, you can hear with your normal headset. And that's going to vary. And I'm going to prove it. Let's create a different list with current gaming and business set. Make it 10 and include all the columns previous. All right. Now we're gonna get a what you can really hear. I didn't even see that guy. That's a problem. One problem with this game, going back to the game, is see those trees right there? The trees are inside the house. I really think the devs should think about creating or crafting a different way of doing that. Meaning, if I wanted a tree in my house, I would build my house around the tree. But I think ultimately the tree should disappear and not grow back in after you build on it, right? Look at that sunrise. That's pretty cool, right? This guy did the same thing, right? This person looks cool, but he's in a forest, so he's gonna be tree heavy. That's the one thing I look for here before, and that's why I probably put myself near a river because it's not as tree intensive. I didn't want that to be a problem. I actually think I came down this way. I usually would have been really scared of those at one point in time. These look like Wow, it's just a lot of different rocks, but not the rocks I need. Oh, wait a minute. Make sure I am topped off here. And drum roll, because we're almost at the go around it. Want to be cool. All right, let's see. All right. So we got a lot of gaming headsets that are, like I said, really good on the frequency range because the companies want the best frequency range but they want to maintain a price that you'll actually be able to afford, and I believe that is a good thing. Oh, give it that one. All right. Well, this side of this mountain seems to be a plethora of these rocks. Make sure I don't leave any sand behind. Leave no sand behind. Yep, there's sand. What can I drop? You know what? I'll drop this fruit and this leaf. I don't need those. I probably need them, but I'm not here for that. I'm here for sand. I know it's silly to say it out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud. All right. So the Steel Series Arctis Pro, 10 to 40K, $249. The HyperX Cloud Alpha goes from 15 hertz to 25K. Logitech G Pro goes from 20 hertz to 20K hertz, 130. Like I said, that's Logitech looked at it and said, well, they can't hear anything else. Why are we going to do anything else? It's a good business decision. Razer Black Shark V2 Pro was 12 hertz to 28K at 180. So you're paying for stuff you can't hear. Corsair Virtuoso RGB SE, 20 hertz to 40K. It's 199. I think you start getting the picture here. There's really nothing to. Oh, well, it's Sony InZone H9 goes from 5 to 40K. It's 299. So it's a gaming headset with a 360 spatial sound and dual noise canceling. And that, I mean, if you want to get down to those low frequencies, the Sony would probably be your best bet. No doubt. Man, I had to come all the way over here for this stuff. Right. Almost dying. Been a while since I've been able to get this much sand, so I'm going to continue to get this much sand. You can see why these people built stone buildings over here. All right. So yeah, what I'm getting at ultimately, if I haven't said it already, is don't fall for these videos that tell you they go into like the single digit hertz or even under 20 hertz. More than likely, your headset is not picking it up. So please don't fall for it. Sand is more important to me than food. Oh, no. You know what? It really is. I need sand more than I need the other things right now. All right, let's go get more. Here's some. I'm gonna have to mark this area. Let's do that now. Control there. Nope. There we go. Sand. What's a good one? There's no real potion bottles. Oh, they got more down here. I didn't notice. I like X marks the spot. Do that. Is there anything else? I can nothing really. I think I'm done for now, even though I'm gonna leave some sand on the table. That's all right. Which direction are we gonna go? I'm headed in the right direction. I think I actually might have thought that this place might have been one of my first areas that I wanted to stop off on, but I couldn't because of the terrain. It was just too slopey, too much slope. It would have been hard to build on. All right. So ultimately, let me stop for a second so I can scroll back up. Looking on my left screen here for you guys so I can get back into the conversation because there's still more on these frequencies. We were down to we're down to healthcare and how frequencies Schumann resonance is where we were, but I have to jump back. Okay, so when we're talking about low frequencies, you're going to need special speakers in order to produce those sounds. So just keep that in mind as you look at different videos and there we go. Is that as you look at different videos that promise you, this will calm you down. It goes down to 8 hertz. Great. I can't hear it. Awesome. Sweet. Right. So there you go. There's some throwing some wisdom at you here. But let's think about the world in general. Because we're still thinking, really. Somebody was getting their ass handed to him. Oh, he's probably getting hit with the by a boar or something as he's doing that. So data storage actually use magnets and frequencies to produce and put on your data storage. It's very interesting how we use the electromagnetic frequency range in a lot of our different technologies. We ultimately, the electromagnetic frequency range is everything you see around you.